Is there anybody out there? Live chat. There we go. Is there anybody? Yep, there's one viewer. There's always someone there. Oh, wait. Someone's giving it a thumbs up, and Martin is first. G'day, Martin. Hey, Addy. Hey, Clinton. Dave. Glasgow. You might notice I'm kind of... This would be suitable for Glasgow, wouldn't it? Never been to Glasgow, but I've heard it's cold. Oh. Hey, Bob. Miguel. Very boring names here again. Paul Daniels in the house, people. Fellow YouTuber Paul Daniels. And Doug. Yeah, cold weather was back in Sydney, all right? Yeah. Yeah, it was last couple of days. Morning from the East Coast, North America, Rhode Island. Never been to Rhode Island. Have been to the East Coast, but haven't been to Rhode Island. How's the weather there? Yeah, it's about, I think it's about 14, 15 degrees. It's about 15 degrees, I think, at the moment, which isn't too bad. But, you know, I did get out the puffy jacket to keep the wife happy. Just stepped in from mowing the yard. Excellent. Should get one of those ride-on mowers. How big's the yard, Paul? I've got to probably talk a bit quiet here. I don't know if my voice is going to project. I'm sitting under one of these shelter things. So I kind of I might sound louder than I am, but there's people not far from me. Hey, sausage. For the Burbs, Jim Hook is here. BDW Wolf, thank you. Schwazi from Germany. And Gustav. Hey, Marco. Mr. Ahob. Maddie. 28C. What? In England. See, every time I've been to England, the weather's been great. So, like, you know, the English, the meme, you know, of course, it's always wet and miserable in England. Every time I have shorts and a t-shirt, every time I've been to England, it's been no problem whatsoever. It's been great. I'm sure I was just lucky. Although I've only been there twice, but I was there for a significant amount of time, both times. So, you know, oh, you got half an acre? That's decent. Half an acre, for those who don't know, is about 2,000 square metres, 4,000 square metres for an acre. So 1,000 square metres is a quarter acre block. That's what you know, that's a reasonable sized block. If you've got a quarter acre block in Sydney, you're doing well. Odd shaped. Yeah, my land is bloody odd shaped. I've got 756 or something. 700, close, yeah, something like that, between something like that, 756 square metres. And it's, you know, which is a reasonable sized block, but yeah, it's oddball. Like the whole front, it's just garden, it's all wasted, you can't do anything with it. You know, yeah, it's really odd. Was just shocked to see me on Electro Boom. Cool. I'm sure half of his viewers have no idea who I am. Although there's a big, you know, there's a big overlap in our audiences. He's got 8 million subs. He's got almost an order of magnitude more subscribers than I do. Over 8 million. And most of those are like normies, you know. So, not really like engineering people. They just like that he shocks himself and, you know. They might be tech people, but they're not, you know, engineering YouTuber people. I'm sure like a million of them are, but yeah, there'd probably be 90% of his audience who have no idea who I was. Hey, Maddie England. It's in Switzerland. Iron Gamer. You've got 2 acres? So everyone's got 2 acres. Oh, now I feel inadequate. The Mrs. Without reading the second sentence you posted, Sausage, you've got 2 acres. I was about to make the exact same joke. The missus kicked me in my nuts. Now I've got 2 acres. Good morning from Romania. Oh, it's just rain. Oh, it's raining. Okay, I was wondering why all the parents were buggering off. Yeah, it's, I'm not, it's coming in, but I'm actually okay under this. The kids are getting wet. The kids are out there having fun. I don't think the kids will stop. But, because if you don't know, I'm kids' sports. And they're all running, all the parents are running for dear life. I'm pretty good under here. Of course, I wouldn't feel it in this if I was getting it, but yeah, no, I'm good. So, yeah, no worries. So yeah, sorry, I'll get the chat back up. Live chat. It's coming down a bit straighter now. It was coming in an angle before. Can't tell if they're screaming from acid rain or fun. Flat Earth again? Yeah. Yes, our winter starts when your summer starts. Yep. Yes, seasons are opposite. It's coming into winter now. It's autumn, and it'll be winter. Well, come June. It's not June yet. May. It's only a month. Jesus, May 1st today, isn't it? So yeah. So yes, only a month away from winter. Well, no, it's still good. I'm not hot. No, I'm not getting wet at all. So I'm good. Yeah, kids are still out there. It's just, it's annoying. It's more drizzly at the moment. Down under. Can't you hear the thunder? Where winners glow and men plunder. Is it free to box with a kangaroo in Australia? Yeah, you can box with a kangaroo if you want. Wouldn't recommend it. Because if they get you the nuts, you're going down. Or if they get you at all, you could be going down. Especially if it's like a big red or something. You don't want to take on a big red. That's one of the smaller roos, you know. You'd be okay. Well, I don't know. No, even they can do really powerful kicks. So, yep, I wouldn't mess with a kangaroo. Well, no, I would. I wouldn't do it deliberately, but if I, yeah, you know, if one was sizing up to me. A heavy spot, Andy, is it? Coming up from Wollongong. The old southerly, huh? Yes, I think that's where it's... Yeah, I think that's where the wind's coming from at the moment. Slightly. I think it's south behind me. Yeah, Andy, your mate got a broken pelvis from a roo kick. Really? Oh, yeah. They got an amazing amount of force. If they hit you wrong, you're going down like a sack of potatoes. Yes, kangaroos are incredibly strong. They're incredibly strong. Their little puny arms can't, you know, front legs can't do much, but their rear legs, ooh, man, yeah. And the tail is so powerful. That's why they lift themselves up on tail and they can kick. They can balance on their tail and then kick you with the big hind legs. How's the microinverter teardown coming along? I almost started it today. I was pretty lazy today. I was going like this morning. I thought, oh yeah, I should do the microinverter teardown today, and then come 5 o'clock, I don't know what I was doing all day, but yeah, I should have a look at that. So I got the card out, put it in the camera, changed to 4K mode. I was about to start recording, and then I don't know. I thought, oh well, I'm just going to get the intro done, like the 2-minute intro. So what's the point? So yeah, tomorrow, probably. But yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like, yeah, I'm just going to have to Dremel it. It doesn't look obvious. Like, it doesn't look obvious where the split is or anything, where the two halves, or, you know, it's potted from a, I don't know if it's ultrasonically welded around the outside. And like, well, it looks like there's the fill-in hole for it. So it looks like they're probably stuck together or welded together first, and then they inject in the potting compound. I think that's might how it works, but it doesn't look pretty. Out of action for months. Yeah, of course you're going to get ripped. Getting taken out by a rood. I can remember when my esteemed Amp Hour co-host, Mr. Christopher Gamble, came to Australia, and he, of course, you know, every Yank wants to see a kangaroo when they come here, and he was hoping to see a kangaroo, and of course, there are ones in Sydney, but you know, they're not in the usual. You know, you don't see them hopping down George Street in the city, although that has happened. But yeah, you generally don't see that, so you have to go somewhere specific to see them, usually out of the way. Yeah, anyway, we went for the road trip from my place down to Canberra, because we filmed the deep space tracking complex thing down there. So we drove down there and we filmed that Voyager 2 one. So I think you can see Chris in a few of my videos and in a few spots in the video or something, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he was mostly just behind camera, just tagged along for the ride as I interviewed him. And yeah, so we put in the GPS, right? So we put in the the Canberra Deep Space, the Canberra Deep Space Tracking Complex, and we hadn't seen any roos on the way down there at all. And then I said, oh yeah, we might see some on the road into the tracking complex. If not, we'll see them at the tracking complex. So we followed the GPS to the and it said, oh yeah, it was the visitor centre, right? So, and I knew, like they had a visitor centre there. So you got like a little cafe, and they've got a museum-y thing there, and it's a small little centre there, right? So I thought, oh yeah, that's it. That's the one that showed up. So we put that in the tracking and put that in the GPS, and we turned up to this paddock. There is another visitor centre, but it's 10 k's away or something from the actual deep space tracking complex, and I think we were running late, and we turned up, and it turned out to be, it was some other visitor centre for the park or something, and it was closed. It had nothing to do with the tracking complex. And anyway, lo and behold, Ronnie turned up to this paddock, which is in front of this visitor centre, and there were, I swear, there must have been 100 plus kangaroos just sitting in the paddock right in front of us. So Chris finally got to see his kangaroos, and he just went, oh, okay. Snap photo. Let's go quick. We have to go to this tracking complex. We're late. So, yep. You're pretty sure the N-Phase guys have a note on your account mentioning who you are. Well, the guy I called up didn't know who I was. So, yep. Oh, the first guy and the second guy. Both times I've called N-Phase for this warranty repair thing, and they didn't know who I was. So, hey, Andre. It's going all right. Well, rain has completely stopped. Oh, the slight minor drizzle, can barely see it. Isn't there a way to dissolve the potting compound? Yeah, somebody mentioned it on the video. I think it was was it DEFCON? who mentioned it. Yeah, there's a stuff that he reckoned, someone, said it worked great. So, yeah, if it is hard potted, I will try and endeavour to get that liquid, that chemical or whatever it is to dissolve it. They had a kangaroo running up the interstate the other day in Alabama. Or escaped from a zoo, or somebody had it as a pet or something. You were fixing a sub, Andy? Subwoofer? Usually a brown cap. Turns out it was all of them. I had to try and find them locally to pick them up. Yeah, you end up... That's the problem. Unless you keep stock of, good quality caps, you just end up... I used to end up going to J-Car half the time because I'm out of stock. So I go to J-Car and just buy cheapies and whack them in, It depends on how important the product is, But yeah, no, the cheapies will go. I've got a stock of cheapies as well, and I have to resort to, just whacking the no-namers I got off eBay in there. And it gets back up and running, Blatantly shilling for Paul Daniels, lol. Have you seen Paul's Flex board view software? Hello, Mark from France. Yeah, kangaroos everywhere in Canberra. Yeah, it's not hard to find them. Oh, I've seen them on Parliament House lawns. Yeah, did I see one? Oh, yeah, maybe when I was a kid there. Yeah, they were hanging around there. I haven't seen them in recent times I've been there. But they don't let you on the bloody Parliament House roof anymore. It's ridiculous. They got all fenced off. Bullshit. First thing I'd do, if I was Prime Minister, I'd personally go out there with the bloody bolt cutters and open the freaking gates and let everyone back on, stand on top of the Parliament House. For those overseas who don't know what we're talking about, our Parliament House in Canberra, which they couldn't decide, is our Australian capital city, is Canberra. It is not Sydney, it is not Melbourne, it is Canberra. Because they couldn't decide. They were arguing 100 years ago, they're arguing, where do we, no, Sydney says we should be the capital city. Melbourne go, no, we should be the capital city. So they decided to put it halfway between. So they made Canberra. And that's where our Parliament House is, that's where our capital is. And they famously built it. It's not underground, maybe some of it is, but they famously built like a big mound of dirt and grass over the top, so that the whole idea was that yes, the people should be above the government. And of course it's nothing like that, but that was the intention, right? Is that people could literally walk on top of Parliament House. You can big hill of grass, you can just walk up the side of Parliament House, walk down the other side, right, stand on top underneath the giant flagpole, right? And that was the whole idea. And then, no, they shut it down because terrorists might drive a truck bomb up there and blow it up. My God, the only thing you're going to blow up is a bunch of tourists. You're not going to bloody blow up Parliament House. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. What a joke. So, it's still locked. Can't. Oh, well, you can go up there, but you've got to go through security, then you've got to go up the lifts, and then they'll let you walk out onto a part on top. You can't just wander up top like you used to be able to. It's bullshit. Yeah, it's all good, Javier. Chemical sounds cancerous. Yeah, they all are, aren't they? Ah, yes, it was DEFPOM. Okay, whatever solvent. So, if it is hard potted, I'll go get the chemical that DEFPOM recommends. I trust DEFPOM. He seems to think it works, so I'll get that and he leaves it soaking for a couple of days or something, and it just all... Don't know if it dissolves away or then it becomes so soft you can pick it out. Don't know how it works, but... Yeah, it's not many component stores, but I still got my local J-Car store, which I like. But I could go to RS or Farnell. They've still got trade counters. I could go to Altronics, but that's further. J-Car caps aren't too bad. Yeah, they do the job, if you want it to last 30 years in a high temp environment, you wouldn't use them, but they're good enough to get something back up and running for, a dozen years, maybe. Picked up the handheld oscilloscope doohickey. It won't be like Tetronics, but it's just the cheapie. Might just work out. Yeah, you know, if it does, if you just want to see if a waveform is the right shape, you know, they're fine. You know, those meters with the built-in scopes, they're fine too. If you just want to have a look at a waveform, yeah, you know, anything more serious, no, don't recommend. Me for PM. The only way it'd be a PM is if they allowed dictators. That's the only way. He used to take her there at night, up the roof. Nice. Hi from Montenegro. Spot the dog. Spot the dog. There you go. I was too close. It's a bit fuzzy when I'm too close. It's actually receding my focal distance for these. These are 1.25 times, so they're not very powerful. But since I got them, like four years ago or something, yeah, my minimal focus distance in low light has been receding backwards, as predicted, as entirely predicted by my optometrist. Montenegro, though. No, I'm not in Canberra, but you'd think so with the puffy jacket. Dork thinks he's going to drown. Name the movie reference. Is it illegal to hunt kangaroos in Sydney? Yes. I don't think there's any... You can only hunt roos on your private property, I think. You can't touch them in national parks. And anything in Sydney with roos on it is going to be like a park. It's going to have rules. So no, yeah, I don't think there's anywhere in Sydney you could hunt kangaroos. Although I guess if you had a big property in Sydney and you're worth a fortune and kangaroos straight on your property, I guess you'd be justified in shooting it if you really wanted to. Because they are insignificant numbers, they are considered a pest kind of thing. So, hey, Artem from the Ukraine. Hope it's doing well there. Too many cameras there now. Well, you can give them a show. Yeah, they banned fireworks. Oh, really? Canberra banned fireworks a decade ago. I thought they were still legal. Really? I went to New South Wales Parliament probably 2 years ago now. I got through the metal detectors with my Swiss Army knife. Oh boy. Yeah, you put barricade fences around the perimeter to stop vehicles. Yeah, it's just... And even then, what's a vehicle going to do? It's going to do nothing. It's going to do nothing. You could have an Oklahoma-sized fertilizer truck bomb, and it's not going to blow a hole in the top of Parliament House roof. It's all going to go outwards and upwards, and it's a big curved roof like this, so it's like it's not going to do anything. Activists screwed up the Parliament roof. Oh, did they? Probably. You got a Siglant SDS 1104XE? Yeah, it's enough for almost anything you want to do. What I need is a portable Tagano is good. Still have no luck. I did not hear back from the 4K camera company to get my Tagano changed to a 4K. So, yeah. So if I do the teardown tomorrow of the N-phase inverter, then I've got a choice. Either I film it in 1080p under the Tagano microscope, or I do it as like a high-res. In fact, this is how I've been doing them recently, pretty much, is that I do it as a high-res, I take high-res camera photos of it, and then I import those in, and then I do a talking head overlay on that, on my desktop. So, yeah, because that's the only way to get the 4K, otherwise. And then I've got to do desktop screen capture in 4K, and then I've got to move my camera, because normally it's only set up for 1080p. No roo hunting in Sydney, says Jim. National parks have commercially licensed shooters for wascally wabbits. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it's legal on your own property, regardless of where you are. Yeah. Don't quote me on that though, but pretty sure. How is it pitch black at 7 p.m? Yes, it's not quite winter, it's a month off winter. Yes. It is May. It's May 1st today. It is winter on June 1st. We are only 30 days away from winter. So yes, it's dark at 5:30 now. It sucks. I love daylight saving because it means I can, like, when I go to the gym after work, it's still light. I'm walking back. Now it's pitch black when I'm walking back from the gym. And if I want to ride my bike home, if I want to ride my bike to and from work, it's in the dark now. It sucks. See you, Dave. Enjoy your breakfast. Photos with Big Clive's macro ring. Yeah, I've got a slightly better setup than Big Clive's one. I did a do-it-yourself one too. I've got a video on that. It's pretty good. It's not as good for big things. Big things I have to do it differently. But for something, the end phase one would fit under there, I think. But not much bigger than that. But yeah, I've got my own light box. Works great. Oh, at airports, barricade fences, tension cables, right. How to control aircraft, yeah. You're from Indonesia. Hey, Fawaz. 4 p.m. Do I ever do consulting for extra cash? No, I haven't done that for a long, long time now. No, I don't. I would rather not have the grief of doing it. I was offered a consulting gig today, just a couple of hours ago. I was in a private chat. You probably saw it if you're on X/Twitter. Some guy wanted to know about he's got a medical thing he's working on, and so he posted that in public. And I said, it's going to be a bit impractical. So he DM'd me, and he said, "Oh, we want to hire you to try and debunk our idea." Try and debunk it. We want you to try and tell us what's wrong with it and everything. And I went, no thanks. Rather not have the stress. I do reasonably well enough that I don't need to do consulting work. So yeah, because it's basically working for the man. I mean, except you're working for more than one man. If you have a full-time job, you're working for one man. If you have a consulting gig, you're working for many of the man. Many men. Oh,
you're right.
Oh yeah, yeah. No worries. I'm just doing a live thing here, so I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to other people. So, yeah,
sorry, mate.
That's all right. That's all good. You hated working 9 to 5, huh?
Yep. You got a meeting?
Working in the dark. Sorry.
You're on mute, is it?
No, I'm on a live show. I'm on a live show with like 1,000 people. So it's all good. So I'm actually talking to the people who are chatting to me. Oh, you got one of those Zoes, did you? Okay, $80. Yeah, sorry. 60. You got the cheapie. Yeah, it's good enough. It'll display a waveform. No worries. Yeah. You wake up, it's dark. Go to work, it's dark. And I don't have outside windows, so I can't even see outside during the day. Yeah, it's pretty depressing. But I'm not going to spend a fortune to get a window. I've had windows before. It was enjoyable, but and at a few jobs I've had premium windows actually. in a few jobs I've worked at. Altium, KeyCorp, had a premium corner window on the 10th floor or whatever it was in Chatswood. Didn't last long though, unfortunately. I don't know how I scored that. I do know how I scored the one at Altium though, because the guy I did a US road trip with, he was the well, he was the mechanical engineer. He was the mechanical engineer for Altium, but he did, like, I don't know, he was kind of like a jack of all trades, and he was like setting up, somehow he got the job of setting up the new office when we moved from French's Forest to Belrose, that's it. I always forget where it was. So did everyone else. Belrose. So we moved from French's Forest to Belrose, and somehow he got in charge of allocating all the seating, all of the cubicles and everything. And I got this premium cubicle right facing out the windows onto the bush and everything. It was great. So yeah, very happy. So I don't think that was accidental. I think he got me. I think he bumped me up to a good spot. Glad to hear, Altif, that my videos helped you. Awesome. In grad school, yes. Get those sorts of comments all the time. That's why I do it. Because many students contact me and say my videos have really helped them. I might be behind on the chat. I'll catch up. Yes, very boring name. Oh, well, yeah, I was exaggerating. Quality, not quantity. Yeah, exactly. Windows might be nice, yeah, but unfortunately, I totally missed the boat on that. I should have, before the Sydney Metro went in, I should have bought a new office before the Sydney Metro went in. Now prices are $10,000 to $11,000 a square metre. So that puts my 50 square metres at like $600K or something. So if I want an 80 square metre place, I'm looking at $800,000-900,000. For an 80, like if I want anything decent, there's no point spending the cost and just getting a window. If I'm going to spend the cost, I'm going to get a bigger lab. Started watching in 2016. See, that sounds so recent to me, but 2016 is almost a decade ago now. That's scary. And you decide to do a degree in EE now. Nice. Now you've got a master's in design chips in Paris. Awesome. Well done, David. Everyone give David Lev a round of applause. Excellent. How'd you end up in Paris? Or are you from Paris? Or did you just end up moving to Paris? Nice. Yeah, normally I don't hear, oh yeah, I'm actually doing chip design in Paris. That's something you don't expect. David Ledger's doing chip design now. I won't tell you for which company, but David too. He's doing chip design now. As a do-it-yourselfer, you would love a reasonable price service to help bring your failed projects to life, or an honest opinion on why they failed, and I have to yet meet them. Yeah, like if I needed the cash, I'm sure I could do a consulting business, just actually doing like design reviews and stuff like that. It's too much effort to do a full contract turnkey service. That's a lot of stress. But just pay me $500 and I'll I don't know, maybe not a few grand probably. $500, geez, that's cheap, Dave. You idiot. Give me $5,000 and I'll write a design review report for your board. Now people are going to swamp me. We couldn't. I can't believe it. He came all the way. He came all the way to Australia, and we couldn't find a PowerPoint to blow up. we went down to the underground basement car park, as you've seen, and we tested those 3 PowerPoints, and none of them worked. they weren't powered up at all. So yeah. But that him actually doing the banging on the lights, that was not staged. That was real. I noticed that the lights started to flicker as soon as he banged it. And that was not staged. That was totally real. So I'm not sure what was going on there. That was weird. Some of those properties I checked out were really nice. Yeah. I still like to keep my nose to the ground. So if there's a new building that opens up in the park, I go and check it out. So I really did like that new building, but it's too expensive. Although I could have got a cheap storage cage down the bottom. They were giving them away for $5,000. $5,000 for a storage cage in the basement. Couldn't give them away. I would have bought 5 of them. They're tiny, bought 5 and then turned them into one big storage cage. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, prices in Sydney are just nuts. It's not just houses. It is also commercial real estate, and it isn't going to drop because the immigration's too high. So the numbers keep coming in, and Norwest is just expanding like nuts. Another 20,000 people come into Norwest, so it's expanding like crazy. So Norwest Business Park is not going to drop in price. Because quite a lot of people who come here are going to want to start up businesses. Local people are always going to want to start up businesses, sick of working for the man. So they want a small office. Yeah, unfortunately. YouTube recommended a great series called The Computer History of Australia. That is by Carl von Moller, mate of mine. I've been in several of his videos. He came out to... you do know he's been working on that for more than a decade. If you think any other YouTubers are slow at actually releasing material, he came to my lab. Oh, it was probably 12 years. It must have been 12 years ago now. 12 years ago, he came and filmed at my lab. I was in the garage. I was still in the garage lab. So he actually interviewed me in my garage lab. And it was nuts. So, yep. And he's slowly been releasing material. Man, he's dedicated. He's flown all around the country. It's all on his own dime to produce all these docos. And he's hired actors to star in them and stuff. Because that's his day job. He's a film producer. But unfortunately, that's a curse because he doesn't want to release anything bad. So he wants to, whereas me, I just shoot it and upload it, she'll be right. I don't care about colour grading and all the rest of the bullshit. Oh, your girlfriend was French, right. So you moved there, did your masters for €200. You got a master's degree for €200. Bargain of the century. Wow. And you're there with 2 kids. Awesome, well done. You win at life. You officially win at life. France is good but cheap education. Interesting. $500 an hour. Yeah, Ben. Yeah. Yeah, commercial property prices. You designed a system on chip FPGA for space. Oh, cool. Now you're doing massive radio chips. Nice. Thank you, I Hate Smartphones, for the generous donation. Iris, 4 beds out my BK... What? You've got a BK Precision 2703 meter that has the 1.5 volt battery test port tied in others milliamp test jack. Have you seen that before? To plug the meters into the same port as the milliamp port to do a battery test? No, that can't be right. That can't be right, because the internal design of that would be crazy, because you plug it into the milliamp jack, and then that's going to have the fuse straight across, and the diode is straight across your battery. Unless you switched it via the range switch, but you wouldn't do that. Oh, mate, yeah, you could get away with it maybe on the milliamp jack, but geez, you wouldn't want to. Sorry, I don't know the 2703C meter offhand. But that sounds really odd. What's going on there? That sounds really, really strange. Anyone? Can anyone help out I Hate Smartphones? Because I can't Google while I'm doing this, so I can't, like I can on the main machine back in the lab. Yeah, I don't know why you'd design a meter that the battery test plugs in the milliamp jack. I've never seen that before. Offhand, I can't think of a reason why you would do that. That's nuts. Yep. Nope. Yeah, nah. Yeah, Australia's like second highest in the world for housing. Second most expensive in the world. Yeah, it's nuts. That's not going to stop. It's not going to stop unless they get the numbers under control. Can't possibly build enough houses, because they always talk, oh, we're going to build 100,000 new houses. It ain't that easy. You can't just build a house. You've got to build infrastructure around it. You've got to build water, sewage, electricity, gas, drainage, roads, schools, hospitals. You've got to build everything. It ain't that easy. Cheap real estate in Ohio, I'm sure there is. But then you'd have to live in Ohio, yeah. Yeah, well, you can get relatively cheap housing in Australia if you want to move to but even somewhere like in the middle of nowhere, like Dubbo, for example, you're still looking at 500,000 for a house in Dubbo. You're still looking at $500,000. It's crazy. And we don't have hundreds of cities like you do in the US. We don't have hundreds of big cities. We have like 7 and like less than 10, probably 10 major cities. It's not many. And everyone who comes to Australia only wants to live in one or in 2 of them, Sydney and Melbourne. That's it. They don't want to live anywhere else. Yeah, I've heard New Zealand and Canada are bad too. Did I see the new Slate EV? Yes, I did. I actually tweeted about that. It looks very utilitarian, if that's a word. looks cool. But then somebody else said that like you can get a Chevy Bolt over there, or Volt or whatever, for what's the time? Oh, yeah. For like 30k with the government subsidies or something. So this one that's 20k with government subsidies, not a huge amount cheaper. They should remove all government subsidies for EVs. There shouldn't be any. Friend got a huge tech TDS 5033B scope, dirt cheap, only has a dead Mobo. Good luck getting it fixed, because if any of the hybrids on the tech scopes fail, then you're screwed, unfortunately. Yeah, they're trying to blame old people for hogging all the properties. Yeah, lol. You know, it's not something I do, but it would be interesting to see how all those new build offices are looking all these years later, and if there's been further expansion. What are you talking about? You want me to do another bicycle tour? of the Norwest Business Park, or do you want me to go inside them? roam the floors. Oh, you can buy under 100,000 in Cuba PD. Yeah. But the crime rate's rated 100 out of 100, is it? Cuba PD. Oh, God. Yeah, well, good luck. Washington State. Really? Houses are $1 million or more? Yeah, well, $1 million's cheap here. Toyota is releasing a 20k ute in Asia, are they? Wow. Yeah, I like the bare bones thing of the Slate. I really like it. It's, something cool. Like, who cares if it doesn't have a radio and a sound system? Like, yeah, and like a screen, you don't need a screen, just you can buy a tablet and put it there if you want it. Or, yeah, no. And, wind up windows. Why do you need windows that just go up at a push of a button? No, just wind them up yourself, lazy bastard. Yeah, I think it looks great. It's priced right. I think they'll sell a fortune if they can do it, and it isn't like an absolute death trap or something. I think they'll sell. I think they've got a winner there. Oh, thank you again. I hate smartphones. Very generous. I can't figure it out either. Post a picture of an EEVblog forum later. Yes, please. And send me a link. Send me an email link. Otherwise, I could miss it. There's like 800 new posts on the EEVblog forum a day. So so it's a very good chance that I'm going to miss it. So yeah, email me a link. I hate smartphones. And I'll jump on the thread because I want to see that. I want to see that for myself. Yeah, every instinct. Yeah, telling you no, don't do it. Don't plug a battery into your milliamp jack. I think the only way I can think you can do that is if they designed it so that you switched the current for the milliamp jack goes through the range switch, and then you physically switch it. But that's trust me, that's not a good thing. That's not a good design practice to run that through the range switch. So, but there are meters who have done that in the past. Like you can get like little small pocket ones that have like a 200 milliamp current range or something, and they will switch it through the range switch. But nah. Or in smaller cities, 50 to 60 square meters costs around 40 to 50k US, does it? Okay. Oh, okay, so you still got the image on the hard drive and the scope. Nice. Yeah, subsidies make sense to kickstart a desired industry. EVs are well and truly, yeah, no, they've been on the market for 15 years. Please stop the subsidies. Same with solar. It's bullshit. It shouldn't be subsidised at all. Yes, liberation of the consumer goods market, I agree. Hey, Flavio from Brazil. I've got quite a following in Brazil. Probably, I don't know, ranks 15th in my list of countries, I think, something like that. Hang on, I'll just have a look what's happening over here. All good. The car for technically skilled people. Kerry. I mean, unbelievable. What's wrong with winding up your own windows in a car and not having anything fancy? It just drives you from A to B. Great. And it looks really good. I really like the look of it. Which power supply? A gallium nitride one or a silicon carbide one? Oh, I don't know. GaN, maybe. I don't know what it's for, but it doesn't matter. Toyota Land Cruiser, right. I've heard that people are paying a fortune for like Land Rovers and stuff these days. Apparently they're somehow trendy and hip. Like if you own like a modern Land Rover or something. And like my father-in-law's got a Land Rover. And, you know, it's one of like the fancy slimline, you know, ones, not a big hulking thing. And he reckoned, like, I think he mentioned that it's worth more second-hand than he bought it for. It's mad. Because people just go nuts over it. Don't know what that deal is there. Oh, it's raining again. I think they've called it quits. I gotta go, guys. Thanks for joining me. Sorry if I didn't catch your comment. Catch you next time.